My 36-year-old boyfriend can't let go of his 13-year-old crush, and now her death is crushing me. It's just curiosity, he said while keeping her memory alive, breaking my trust. I want to be his everything, but am I just a placeholder for a ghost? How do I move on? My boyfriend, 36 years old male, and I, 26 years old female, have been together for almost 4 years. From the very beginning, I was very clear about my boundaries, particularly regarding keeping exes or former flings on social media. He agreed and removed them all, which made me feel valued. However, later on, I discovered he still had a girl named Sarah on both his Instagram and Facebook accounts. Initially, I did not think much of it because he informed me they only dated when they were 13. I assumed it was merely a silly childhood affair and did not signify anything important. Then months into our relationship, I learned that he had recently mentioned to a friend, just months before we began dating, that he still wanted to sleep with Sarah. This revelation altered everything for me. It made me feel uncomfortable, and when I checked his search history, I noticed he had been looking her up. I expressed my discomfort about him having her on his social media, let alone checking on her. Instead of being understanding, he resisted and argued with me for days. His mother even had to intervene and tell him to remove her, reminding him that I am his partner now, not her. That was when he finally complied. I thought that would be the end of the issue and that he finally understood my perspective. However, months later, I discovered he had continued to look her up, checking her old pictures and tagged videos, always keeping tabs. He claimed he was just curious about what was new in her life, but it did not feel harmless. It felt like he still harbored lingering feelings and was unable to let go. I desire a boyfriend who is emotionally present and fully committed, not someone who continues to make space for another woman in his mind. This situation made me feel disrespected. Then Sarah passed away. Honestly, I did not want to make this about myself, but the way everything unfolded was deeply painful. When he told me about her death, he admitted he had not planned to tell me but felt guilty keeping it to himself. The first thing I asked was how he found out because I sensed he had gone looking again. He became defensive and told me it was irrelevant since she had passed away. Eventually, he claimed a mutual friend had messaged him. When I requested to see the messages, he delayed, but when he finally showed me, it was evident that some messages had been deleted and the conversation between them did not make sense. It was clear that there had been messages removed. He then asserted that they had a phone call prior to the messages and even went so far as to rename his mother's contact to pretend a call had occurred. This was astonishing to me. He could not maintain his story consistently. He ultimately confessed that he looked her up, discovered she had passed away, and then informed the mutual friend. That moment devastated me, all the tangled lies. Not only that, but when our relationship was finally progressing well, he still felt the need to check in on her. It made me feel as if no matter how hard I tried or how close we became, there would always be a part of his heart that was not mine. It felt as if he always believed the grass might be greener on the other side. He stated he lied because he was afraid I would react negatively or think he had done something wrong by checking up on a childhood friend. Then I saw the message he sent to Sarah's mother, and it felt like a stab to the heart. This is what he wrote. Rhonda, please accept my deepest condolences about Sarah's sudden passing. I'm sure you don't remember me. I used to go by Zach, and I was friends with Jacob and Brandon. My mother even gave you a haircut once. Sarah and I dated when she was in 7th grade at Riverwood Middle School. We used to message on AOL, and her username was Wodem846. Those were the dial-up days. Was puppy love and lasted only 2 months, but those 2 months have had a profound impact on my life. I remember her favorite song at the time was Hush Little Lady by Lil Romeo. We watched Resident Evil when it was released in theaters under the supervision of my uncle. Sarah was the first person who told me he was gay, and he ended up coming out shortly after that. After our relationship ended, I always felt motivated to improve myself so I could return and impress her. Months turned into years, and I always tried to keep in touch or stay updated. I was incredibly proud when I saw she received her college degree, even more impressed by her generous nature when she got involved in helping victims of human trafficking. When I watched Sound of Freedom, I felt pride knowing a real hero. I witnessed her big heart when her friend Fabian and her grandmother passed away, and she commemorated them every year on their birthdays. She also demonstrated her character by rescuing dogs and being loving towards them. She deserves to be remembered. I hadn't checked up on her in over a year, and then I remembered it was her birthday month. My heart sank when I saw the comments saying RIP and that she would be missed. What happened? How did she pass away? My world has turned upside down since this morning when I found out. Everything seems gray to me now. I can only imagine how you are feeling. Sarah will always have a place in my heart, and if you and Alex ever need anything, this isn't an empty offer, please ask. I owe Sarah a lot for the incredible impact she has had on my life. Reading that was both embarrassing and painful, especially the part about Sound of Freedom. We literally watched that movie together. I was sitting right next to him, and the whole time he was thinking of her. Perhaps it is immature of me to feel this way, but it made me feel insignificant, like I was invisible. It seems he is clinging to an unrealistic version of a person who was never truly part of his adult life. It feels as though he has not given up the idea of rekindling something with her. Even now, I catch him checking her mother's Facebook page. He claims it is because he still wants to know how she died, even though her mother has chosen not to reveal those details. I feel as though I cannot express my feelings without being made to seem heartless because she is dead, yet my feelings matter too. I have conveyed to him repeatedly how all of this has affected me, but now he states I am being disrespectful for continuing to feel upset about this situation. We are currently in Canada but will soon head to Texas, where I reside, and there will be a remembrance ceremony for her a few days after we arrive. He wishes to attend. While I do not find it inappropriate, I feel uncomfortable about it and I wish I didn't. He is about to move in with me and my family, yet I feel my emotions have not been respected throughout this entire situation. The most challenging part is that I cannot stop wondering if she were still alive, would he still be checking up on her? Would he still be fantasizing about her while I am here trying to build something genuine with him? He wants to brush everything aside and claims I am overthinking it. Yet I feel dismissed, hurt, and unseen. He insists he never thought of her that way when we got together, but I find that hard to believe since I constantly catch him looking her up. This situation transcends Sarah. It is fundamentally about trust. He continuously tells me to believe him, but how can I when he disregards the promises and boundaries I established from the beginning? He offers financial security and is on the verge of becoming a millionaire through cryptocurrency. However, if he cannot even uphold his word in matters that affect my heart, how can I feel secure relying on his financial assurances? That frightens me. Additionally, he is not emotionally or romantically present in the way that I desire. I do not feel emotionally fulfilled. While we have fun engaging in hobbies together, more often than not, it feels as though we are siblings rather than romantic partners. He confides in me when he is feeling down and I do my best to support him, but when I need support, he responds with remarks such as, "What can I say or do?" as if I am just seeking a solution. I am not, I merely want to feel seen and cared for. He is addicted to marijuana, neglects his hygiene, lacks a routine, and claims he does not need to work because he is wealthy. I have expressed my desire for a healthier lifestyle, waking up early, eating well, exercising, but he shows no interest in participating in those endeavors with me. My sleep has also suffered. He stays up until 3 or 4 a.m., stomping around and making noise while I am a light sleeper. This disrupts my rest, and my cortisol levels are heightened from pleading with him to come to bed. When he finally does come to bed, he brings his gaming console and starts playing bright screen in my face, clicking noises, and I am left lying there, growing more anxious. We end up waking up at 2 or 3 p.m., skipping meals, and I have even felt lightheaded in my sleep from hunger. I am not moving my body enough. I feel as though I am deteriorating alongside him. He often remarks, "This is what it's like to date a cryptocurrency millionaire." However, I do not believe his addiction to marijuana or phone use will ever change. He is very involved in politics, constantly scrolling through negative news, and honestly, if I were not around, I am certain he would be skipping meals and doing even less than he currently does. We both enjoy snowboarding, which is honestly the only reason I have remained with him this season. Yet even then, I had to practically drag him to go. He would be too tired to drive and too groggy to plan anything, primarily because he never prioritizes sleep or structure. There are countless red flags, and despite loving him deeply, I am beginning to question if that is enough. I do not feel loved. I believe I am merely holding on due to my feelings for him and the comfort of financial security. But emotionally, I feel alone. I do not feel valued or respected, despite his assurances that I am. His actions suggest otherwise. Story 2. My girlfriend of 2 years caught me relapsing on adult content, and now we're on a painful no-contact break. She said, "I can't feel the trust anymore, and I'm left wondering if it's possible to rebuild what I broke. Can love survive my betrayal?" I want to begin this post by expressing my deep regret for my actions and the way I have caused pain to such an amazing person. Any explanation for my problematic actions or thoughts is not intended as an excuse. I genuinely want to offer you all a glimpse into my mindset in hopes that you can understand the situation. My girlfriend and I have been together for 2.5 years. This is our first relationship, and we are each other's first everything. We have shared countless wonderful experiences, and much was going well, at least I thought so. The only real flaw in our relationship occurred about a year in when my girlfriend discovered that I had been watching adult videos which deeply hurt her. She felt inadequate and believed I had broken her trust. After discussing it for a few days, she forgave me but warned that, if this happens again, it will become a much bigger issue. I assured her it would not happen again, as I had no intention of watching those videos after that point. Prior to this, I was unaware of the effect my choice to consume that content could have on others. Like many young men my age, I had developed an addiction to those videos. Over the following 10 months, I relapsed and watched adult content no more than 10 times, the last instance being August 2024. Each time I relapsed, I felt terrible, knowing I had acted against the promise I made to her. The final time I watched a video, I broke down in tears due to how guilty I felt. During those 10 months, we had been intimate, but sometimes it ended poorly because she felt that it wasn't really me or that I wasn't really present. Whenever we shared those experiences, I felt nothing but love, and I wished for both of us to enjoy our time together. Earlier this year, she asked me if I had stayed true to my promise not to watch adult content, and not wanting to lie, I admitted that I had struggled with a serious addiction and was trying to overcome it. I told her that the last time I had watched anything was the previous summer. She was devastated by my inability to control myself and broke down in tears. Throughout the last 3 weeks of February, we talked frequently about this situation, and I did everything I could think of to help her feel better and possibly regain her trust. I wrote her letters of apology and support, gave her some small heartfelt gifts, and consistently communicated that I love her, think of her, and want her to feel better. I encouraged her to let me know if there was anything I could do to help. Celebrating Valentine's Day with her significantly improved her mood as I took her to a lovely indoor park and butterfly museum. I thought she would still need time to process everything, but that we would ultimately be okay. From then until shortly after our birthdays, mine on March 10th and hers on March 7th, things were improving. However, something shifted towards the end of March, and after an afternoon of talking, she expressed a desire for a week-long break to process her feelings, which still revolved around the betrayal she felt. I agreed, but after a week she suggested extending the break, stating that if I ever felt unwilling to wait, she would not pressure me. Not quite a week later, the day before our spring break last Friday, she informed me that she wanted to go no contact for an indefinite period. I was reluctant to be without communication for so long, but I decided that this relationship was worth waiting for if she truly needed space during the break to gather her thoughts. After discussing it, we agreed to start no contact from that point. Since then, we have not texted or seen each other. However, I have noticed her Instagram posts indicating she is busy spending time with her family and friends almost daily. Occasionally, I see her TikTok reposts, and the most recent one included a caption detailing her internal struggle, indicating she still cares for me despite the hurt I caused. Still, it is incredibly difficult not to have direct communication with someone I used to see and talk to almost daily. Before she went on this final break, she emphasized the importance of my taking care of myself, which I have been doing through the gym, spending time with family and friends, and engaging in my hobbies. Although it has been only 5 days since our last conversation on Friday, it feels like months, and life seems to be moving in slow motion. Yesterday, I reached out to her sister to inquire about how my girlfriend was doing, but I asked her not to discuss it with my girlfriend. Her sister responded without a definitive update, suggesting that time apart from loved ones is challenging for everyone, but advising me to continue taking care of myself and respect my girlfriend's boundaries, as she would appreciate this in the long run. During our discussions between the first and second week of our no-contact period, she mentioned that her family and friends were encouraging her to give me the benefit of the doubt, particularly her father, whom she greatly respects. However, I wonder if that is truly helpful for her, as it may make her feel like her emotions are being invalidated. I know this could be difficult for her to hear since she possesses a strong will and holds firmly to her beliefs. I hope she has been able to process everything without feeling invalidated by those closest to her. When we discussed the situation, she frequently asked questions related to the effects of adult video addiction, such as desensitization to real intimacy or feelings of inadequacy during our experiences together. I answered her honestly. I believe she has had an aha moment, realizing that I was extremely desensitized to our intimacy because of my past consumption of those videos, and that the moments she felt like it wasn't me were related to that. I am convinced that my behavior during those experiences was affected by my history with that content, but I always had her and our relationship in mind, while I was focused on ensuring she had a wonderful time, which I fear may have made me seem distant during those moments. Now that I have explained everything, I seek guidance on how to move forward. Should I wait for her decision? Should I express that if she truly cannot trust me again, we should break up? I want to be with her and I love her deeply. Over the past 7, almost 8 months, I have been free from that addiction and have been working hard for her, even before she learned about my relapses from the previous year. I do not believe this break is intended for her to see other men, despite my mind being conditioned by social media to think otherwise. I think she genuinely just needs time and space to reflect on everything. What do you think I can do now or in the future to help her regain trust, forgive me, and feel better? Do you see a possibility for our relationship to continue? And once she makes her decision, what should I do to either move forward with her or independently? I want to do everything possible for this girl, and I know I have deeply hurt her and broken her trust. I welcome any opinions, even if they are harsh, and I will try to respond to any questions as quickly as possible. Also, I apologize for any grammatical errors or disorganization. My mind is not functioning well right now. Summary, I, an 18-year-old male, have struggled to stop watching adult content, which shattered my girlfriend's trust and made her feel inadequate and betrayed. We are currently on a no-contact break without fully ending our relationship. I need advice on how to move forward and help her heal.